Hello guys, welcome back to another chess video. This is Amit here, and today I'll be showing you all the basics of chess. And in the previous video I had showed you about how the pieces actually moves, and actually I taught you about the number of squares on the board and what are they called and where all pieces will be kept. So I have showed you that before, and today I'll be showing you all the basic pieces movements and their power in respect to their power, how much power each piece has. I'll be showing you that. So let's begin with the video. In the position, actually you can see that the rook, knight and the bishop are placed on the a1 square, b1 square and the c1 square. White queen is on the light square, and black queen is on the dark square. And here the king is white king is placed in the dark square, and black king is placed at the light square at the center of the board. And here there are 8 pawns on the board, and for each of the player. For white it is 8 pawns, black it is 8 pawns, and for black it is 2 rooks and 2 knights and 2 bishops with 1 queen and a king. White also has a similar setup, but in the game white actually moves first. And before we proceed how pieces moves in this game, I'll show you where all pieces are placed. In the above position, black queen is placed on the d8 square, and black bishops are placed on the c8 and the f8, and black knights are placed on the g8 as well as on the b8 square. If you want, I would like to know how to remember the square names on the board. You can check out my previous video. There I have explained all the things. And rooks are placed on the a8 as well as on the h8. For white it is rooks are placed on the a1 and the h1, and bishops are placed on the f1 and the c1. Knights are placed on the b1 and the g1, and queen is placed on the d1 and the d8 black queen is placed, and d1 white queen is placed, and king is placed on the e1, and black king is placed on the e8 square. And in this position, based on the priority of the pieces, the knight stands the least powerful piece. The knight and the bishop are supposed to be having equal powers. They are with the 3-point piece, and bishop is also on 3 points, and next comes the rook. Rooks are actually 5-point piece, and they are much powerful than the knights and the bishops, and queen is actually 9-point piece, and king is the most powerful piece on the board, and it is actually having no at all, because without the king the game does not continue. So it's the most powerful. Without points cannot be mentioned for the king, and it is the highest power. So, and all these pieces moves I'll be explaining now. And in this position you can see that white has already moved the pawn to d4, and this position, if the white pawns are at the base of the board, then actually here they can actually move 2 squares at a time, 2 squares to the front at a time. And if black pawns are to be moved now, they can move 2 squares at a time like this, and white also can move 2 squares at a time like this. And all the pawns at the base of the board, they can move either 1 square or 2 square at a time. Now here you can consider this pawn. He can even move single square, but once he moves it single square, then he cannot jump to two squares. It is considered as an illegal move. So he cannot move the pieces two squares with the pawn after moving it once. So, and also the bishop moves diagonally. Light square bishop moves diagonally and he can give check, and black square bishop also can guard from the check, and he can move it one square. Now here knight can also move. Knight moves actually in a L-shaped manner, and he can move to c3. Then here he can move to c6. Now here the knight covers most of the squares. Here knight covers here, 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 and here, and here. So it covers more major squares at the center if it is present and attacking towards the center. So consider the black knight is actually, now if black knight moves to h6, or rather if white's turn and he can move to h4, then you can observe here that the white knight covers the least number of squares, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it's possible that we should always keep the knights at the center of the board, and you should not move the knights to the corner because they cover the least number of squares. So it is better to play at the center of the board, and bishops always move in the diagonal and it cannot hop over another piece. Now if consider if black bishop has to be moved, now here he can move to b4, and after king he cannot jump over the e1 and capture the king. He has to take the bishop on the d2, and now here white captures with the queen. So this way the position is played actually with white and black, and bishops are powerful in the open position. And here the white king is allowed to castle. Now I will be showing you, I have covered up the bishop and the knight moves. Now I will show you all the rook moves. Rook actually moves adjacent. Now it's black's turn, so black rook moves here. Then if white rook moves here and I make some random move with the queen, and here he moves diagonally up also, so he cannot hop over another piece like the bishop. Knight is the only piece which can hop over another piece and move the piece to a different square. So rook cannot hop over another piece, but it is in the open position it is very powerful. Rook is very powerful. And here you can see that I have already showed you knight and the bishop movements, and now if it's black's turn he can play knight to f6. Now the king has two squares. Here it has four squares, but he can move anywhere around his area. Like now he can actually, let me show you, the king can move actually here. It covers these 8 squares, adjacent 8 squares like this, only one square. He cannot hop over another piece. And here you can see that the black king is now allowed to castle. Now only other move which black or white can play is he can castle. Now it's white's turn, no, black's turn. Now he can jump 2 squares and it's a castle. So this is one extra move. In order to safeguard your king, you have to castle. And there is another move which can be played. Now consider white moves his pawn up. Now knight can go back. Then actually here if white plays some moves like this, then black plays f5. Now if the white pawn is on the 5th rank and black pushes the pawn 2 squares at a time, then you can actually en passant and capture the pawn. This is one another advantageous move. Or you can either take on the very next move, or you cannot take. Later, after playing 1 or 2 moves, you cannot capture the pawn like that. But once he plays the move to f5, you have to immediately capture it, like taking the f6. So this way you can capture, but you cannot actually capture after 2 or 3 more moves. You cannot do en passant. So immediately you have to capture. So I guess I have covered all the major moves. And also if king is here, let me show you. King is on the E1 square and rook is on the A1 square. Now in order to castle the king on the queen side, you have to first move the king 2 squares to the left, and you have to move the rook 3 squares to the right, and it's a castle. And also I guess I have covered all the moves, variations of the pieces movements. And also if the queen is at the center, it covers major squares like this whole diagonal, but he cannot hop over it, so he can only eye the c7 pawn and this and here. Generally he can cover all the squares. If it is an open position, then he can cover all the squares like this, back and front. He covers all the squares, so it is considered as the most powerful piece. And it plays the role of the bishop as well as the rook in an open position, because rook and bishop combined forms the queen's strength. But queen does not have strength like a knight to move to here, so it's not playing as a knight. It can only play as a bishop or a rook. So, and also in this game, white plays the first move in the opening and black plays the next move, and only one move is given per piece, per player. So you cannot actually make 2 moves at a time, only one move is played. And also now if you try to take this piece rook on the f8, it is considered as an illegal move. And also if queen takes the queen now and knight moves somewhere here and queen takes the rook, and you try to make another move on a real-time board, then it is considered as an illegal move, because king is in check and you have to respond to that and capture the queen or move your king. If king has no square and rook captures the queen, then you can actually but if king has nowhere to go and no piece is attacking the f8 square, then it is considered as a checkmate. If king has nowhere to go, then it is considered as a checkmate. So hope you like this video, and in the next video I'll be showing you all what is exactly the moves, and another training video I'll be posting it. So hope you watch this video till then. If you like it, please like my video, and if you are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.